1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm excited about this one. We're bending to chord tones. And what are chord tones? I'm going to tell you the answer. It's the root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. And what are those? Those are intervals, and you can count them by counting up a scale. Now, we really haven't gotten into scales yet, so I just want to give you the answer. We'll explain the details later, because mostly I want to get into the playing. That's what's going to make it make sense to your ear anyway. But if you take, in this case, a minor scale, and you count 1, 2, 3, then that distance, that's a third. And the next one that we want is the fifth, so we count 5. We've done that before, and the seventh. That's the seventh. And those are the notes that I want to bend to. Now, I'm doing a higher octave of those. So for my third, for example, I'm taking that C note and putting it way up here and bending to that. So I just wanted to give you that little idea of what chord tones are, but most importantly, let's play them. Then they'll really make sense. So we're doing our familiar gallop pattern with a new picking technique. And we're doing a couple power chords. And then I'm going to do the first bent chord tone, which in this case is going to bend to the fifth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to bend up to it. I'm going to bend down like that with our muted picking that we just learned. All right, next we're going to do, there we're bending to the root, or the octave. Root and octave are the same note. It's the A note. And I'm bending up to it, and then doing our muted picking. And then the third, 1, 2, 3. And the last one is the seventh, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And let's have a look at these bends one more time. The thing that I want to show you about them is some of them are whole step bends. The first two, I'm bending a whole step up in pitch and falling back down below it. So if you played that without the bend, it would be a whole step, 2 fret distance in pitch. The next one is the same thing. That's also a whole step. And we're bending it. And the next one's a half step. So this is, you don't have to bend as far because we're only trying to get a 1 fret distance in our bend. And the same thing for the next one. It's the sound we want. We want to get it with bending. All right, so that's all the bends. The other thing I want to point out is that the fingers we're using change. I want to do my giant finger that I construct with 3 fingers for the first bend. Now the next bend, we could do that, but it goes up a fret. And since my pinky is already in that position, I want to try using my pinky for the bend. This is a bold move, using that little finger for this big bend. But the reason that it can do it is because it has the help of all the other fingers. So you actually use all 4 fingers, and you have a lot of, you have a massive callus there when you put them all together. So that makes it really easy to bend all those up. And I have 1 finger per fret. And again, it's not really the fingers themselves. It's not doing that. It's more locked finger and using the wrist, especially this part, to pull it towards you. It's really a circulating kind of wrist movement. I'm putting a little vibrato at the end. So, and then we have our half bend. That's with the 3 and with the 3. So it's all with the 3 fingers except for that second one. and that's a really good place to start getting used to our pinky bend. And again, I recommend getting that pinky working because it'll really pay off in the future, and it sounds good now. All right, so let's play this in time because we need to get the feel of it and the sound of it in our ears. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I think this is such a good exercise because the notes that we've chosen to bend, I told you already that they're chord tones, but that's significant because chord tones to me are the good notes. Those are the notes that sound, they make it sound like you know what you're doing. They're the notes that the ear wants to hear. They're the strongest notes. And because they're the notes that make up the chord. I don't want to get too deep into music theory here, but when you play a minor chord, basically we're bending to each one of those notes. So we're really telling the listener, we're telling them the quality of that chord in our solo. And that's a great thing to communicate. We're not just bending notes at random. We're not bending them because they're a convenient place to put our fingers. We're choosing these notes very purposefully because they sound the best with our minor chord. And that's fantastic. I think this is such a good thing, both for your technique and also to visualize where those notes are located. Because obviously, it's not all the same. Here we're on the 7th fret, but then here we go to the 8th fret with a different finger. Back to the 7th, but this time a half bend, and then the 7th with another half bend. So each time there's a small modification that you have to make in order to get the notes of that chord. All right, so let's do it one more time together. Let's do it slow. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really a fantastic thing to do with the electric guitar. It really brings out the character that only the electric guitar has, and I just love every second of that. Let's speed it up a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, enjoy that one.